making sure you don't give away these strong picks to the side of Infinity, but also do we have a composition that's going to be able to be successful here with what we put together? Yeah, immediately a Zushin band comes out there. I want to say a big respect there for Infinity when it comes to what Zushin can do out on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I mean, I was like, I'm worried about like what is going to happen in the second game here because there's so many situations, so many troubles for DreamMax, for example. And I'm not DreamMax. I'm not a coach. I'm not a like, player coming out from DreamMax. But that is the situation for it because not only about Fanboy and this usual or unusual picks that he is allowed to bring for us, like with Kufra, with Bellaric, with the other one I forgot now, the Bellaric, the Kufra, the Minotaur, even Atlas when he brought. Okay, the result was not successful, but
yeah, the other one was a very successful.
Okay. He brought the Atlas and they lost. That's okay, but. It is not. It's not like okay. If you bring Atlas, you automatically are going to lose the game. You know, like maybe depending on the composition, depending on idea, Atlas can fit very well in other composition. It's a theory, okay? But Fanboy is about to bring other heroes, but not only about Fanboy. We're talking about ZZ. With I was about to say about Harley because ZZ has a very strong early game, especially when it comes to Harley. For example, when he has a follow-up coming out for damage coming out from the mid lane or the XP lane, for example. So here, ZZ's first pick on Harley, it's a very good, it's very interesting for them. And now here comes DreamMax versus with Leomord and Uranus. Maybe thinking just a little about like this pressure that that ZZ can impact and cause with Harley, especially with ultimate. You know, so now DreamMax are bringing two like resistant heroes so far.
Yeah. I feel like they went ahead and picked out the Leo and the Uranus because of the fact that they're more tankier here. But then they answered that with picking up that carry to kind of take down the tankiness, right? So, and of course they go ahead and pick out the Bellaric for Fanboy there. I feel that DreamMax kind of wasted their Suyu pick and that Yi pick as well. So I wonder what mages they're gonna go ahead and pick up here, because those were really strong meta heroes right now too, but they lost with it. So no.
The only thing here that kind of makes me wince a little, well, one on the side of DreamMax is that we don't have something to be able to kind of pick up the Harley to kind of snatch him away or close the distance on this carry very fast. Leomord can close the distance on the carry, but trying to get to Harley might be another story. That is what I was looking for. I was going to say, we either are looking for a Kalia or a Cho or something that can really get back to that back line, use the way of the dragon kick to kick them towards you. On the other side, though, Infinity, you've got a Bellaric, you've got the Wrath of the Dryad, that brings everybody together. But when it comes to damage output, you've got basically Harley and Carry who can only hit the first front of that. You don't really have AoE damage that will take advantage of having the enemy team grouped up. And I feel like that's where we're going to need to fill in the rest of this. They take out Farsha, which I feel like would have been perfect for that type, but not with the Cho on the opposite side. So, and that's the big thing too, that you're going to sacrifice. A lot of AoE damage. Who do you pick that's not going to get picked off by a Cho out here? So very interesting draft strategies coming out from both of these guys.
Yeah, both teams here are thinking very straightly to the draft composition. Maybe another mid lane is going to be banned here by Infinity. Another one with this damage situation. I don't. Maybe Lunox, because they are not supposed to repeat Ivy, for example. Sana with the Ancient Garden here could be a very interesting ban when it comes to this idea of execution coming up with Cho, for example, with the isolation, with the Way of the Dragon. But no, Insung Shin, okay. The goal lane could be because this character might not have this interesting matchup versus Institution so far.
Yeah, I feel like a Lunix would be a good choice because Harley's magic, it will, or his ultimate can't really get her if she does her ultimate to kind of escape that, right? So for that would be a good choice for the side of DreamMax. But I think for the side of Infinity, maybe a Lilia would be good. I usually play her with pure vibes, so that would be good to kind of like get away from it, show where to catch her, she can get out of it, but that'll help when Belric was able to kind of like pull everyone together and she can dish out that AoE damage that you were looking for.
Honestly, I would not have said anything different. You took the words right out of my mouth. Clit is something that we have not seen. It's a lot of burst of damage that you're going to have on the side of DreamMax. He does take a little bit of time to get some of that burst damage, and his range is not as far, well, his escapability is not as great as you see from other marksmen out there as well. But you're absolutely on track. Lunux would have been a great point when it comes to the mage for DreamMax, because even if you throw Belric back with the Way of the Dragon kick, Lunux is going to be able to do a good job of being able to burst him down. So I feel like that would have been great. Lilia is great on the side of Infinity as well, because you have all of these things where she can run into the middle of them, try to get a lot of that damage, and then even if Cho locks onto her, she's going to be able to use those black shoes to get away. Here, and this is another sweet spot that we've seen from Infinity, where we see that Thamus come out, and I feel like he's done such a great job of being able to not hold inside the turtle pit, but if DreamMax does not get to that turtle pit first, he's going to use Thamus to try to zone away the entirety of the team. So this is going to come down to DreamMax and their rotations, and if they can get to that pit first.
So we're seeing here now, it's a really interesting battle, especially coming out from mid to the XP lane. But now we are seeing a Gord here on DreamMax's composition. This is blowing my mind, honestly speaking.
Gord, wow. I mean, it's one of your favorites, isn't it, Private? You love the Gord.
Oh yeah, I surely do. And this is going to speak even more. If Thamus gets anywhere near the mid, if Infinity dare to try to fight anywhere inside the middle of that turtle pit, I feel like Shikitse on that Gord is going to be able to absolutely dominate. This is all, but if it's going to be a problem though, if DreamMax is going to be on the outskirts, if they don't get there fast enough, I feel like Infinity's got just a good amount of ability to keep them zoned out from there. It's going to be very interesting to see how these two compositions, I like both of them, and what they're going to be able to try to accomplish here.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, so welcome everybody once again to the Land of Dawn. Just a few seconds ahead here to the second game coming out from DreamMax versus Infinity, and both compositions on the screen for you guys. And yeah, you were right, Private, when you say like, okay, Shikit with the guard here, like causing dispersion and the tons of damage when it comes to the second ability and to the ultimate. For example, with this high damage, continuous damage in the ultimate, for example, and the possibility of getting the stun with the first one here. But if ZZ finds a flank, if ZZ finds a way to get next to Shaikichi, for example, okay, they have Leomore, they have Sho here who can protect, who can make this appeal versus to Gord, for example. If ZZ finds this way, followed by the ultimate from Zetian, for example, that could be a problem for DreamMax and Shaikichi, which is very important in this lineup for DreamMax so far.
One of the things that I think we've talked about till we're blue in the face is I feel like Shikitse is just one of those mages that I'm just like, I'm not worried about her. I feel like she does such a great job when it comes to placement, to be able to make sure that she's not putting herself in the harm's way. She understands what she's up against and still pick Gord, so I think she understands where she needs to be as far as positioning to make sure that she's away from a Harley out there. the stun that can come out from Zeshian, it won't stop the Mystic Gush if it's already out there, but yeah, it will do a great job of setting up for Harley to be able to close the distance on you. So I feel like it's what I'm looking for is how well can this Cho be played to help peel for Shaikitse, who we already know she's going to be building Sky Piercer early on this board, because I don't think there's a hero yet that she hasn't built Sky Piercer, and usually is very, very successful. But ladies and gentlemen, game 2 coming over as it looks like Infinity's dominance, as hopefully DreamMax are looking to find a way to answer that here in game 2.
Yeah, so we saw a show here with the gold armor. Yeah, the Shiryu here skin, which is a very, very beautiful one. Very perfect for now here. Here's a mid lane, a 2v2 situation. Blink.
Yeah, he's dashing in, looking, but Lionel doing a great job of kind of creating that distance, keeping on the back. And here already, Shaikitse down to about a third of health. That means that both Shaikitse and the Cho are going to have to go back home. He saw there too. Lionel kind of poking in there. Really? Oh, I was going to say, if that interrupted Shaikitse again, you're going to be missing out on this entire wave coming out from the side of DreamMax there.
Yeah, that could be very, very bad for Shaikichi here, but she was able to head back in the base. But now she farmed. I think that 1 or 2 minions in that wave coming out in the mid lane here. But now, 13 seconds left of the first turtles. Both teams are here dancing around this corner. Zeus is taking just a little bit pressure coming out from Zablox. I thought it would be the opposite, though. I thought that the carry would be a bullet a lot more, but oh, the top side! Ooh.
Yeah, Blink actually takes a lot of damage. He's not going to be a part of this Lord by Rusi coming from the side there, as we do have a Mystic Gush and a Flicker back from Shaikitse. Is it going to be enough to be able to take out Rusi, who activated that Cauterate Inferno and was taking a lot of health? They do bring him down, and they are able to pick up a turtle.
My goodness, did you see Shaikichi's plate style here? Like using the ultimate and the flicker from behind. Not only to get surprised, but only to guarantee that she was continue causing damage in the team fight here. So first turtle coming from DreamMax. First kill for Shaikichi. So everything's working so far for DreamMax.
Yeah, a great positioning there by Shaikitse, even with Blink, who was, speaking of which here, a lot of damage coming out. This Wrath of the Dryad comes out from Fanboy as well. Now trying to chase ZZ into the tower. Are they going to be able to find it from the back? Zabloch coming in for reinforcements, trying to put on that damage. It is not enough. They aren't able to find the kill, and they are still able to escape. It is a DreamMax. Meanwhile, though, at the top, Rusi is chunking away at this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, this is what happens when you move like 4 or 5 players to surprise the Infinity's composition so far. So the idea was good, but execution, it wasn't what they were expecting. So Rusi was taking this time, was taking this opportunity to explore the gold energy. Not only the gold energy, but the tower itself. So it has taken just a few damage, an interesting damage. So Rusi here could take some kind of advantage about like this XP situation and the farming so far. But this versus a Uranus, you know, it's not going to be that easy, as we are seeing here this battle in the top side so far.
Yeah, right now we do have a turtle up at the top. DreamMax in a great position for it. You can see Shaikitse getting into position. Rusi looking for an angle to get in. And unfortunately for Infinity, just not going to be able to pick this up. And they're not able to really answer it on another side of the map either. Not able to get a push, not able to find a kill. Now, big pop-up does land onto Fanboy. And you see ZZ there at the bottom, maybe looking to probably get that deadly magic onto the Cho. Is it going to be enough? No, both of them kind of resetting. Blink takes a little bit of damage from ZZ. Deadly magic is not going to be able to take him down.
Yeah, we didn't see, but ZZ was forced to use Flick on the top side.
Yeah, Goo actually in a little bit of trouble here. You see the Cauterate Inferno activated by Rusi. I do believe I saw that the ultimate come out from Goo as well, but it was not enough to withstand the immense damage and regen that you get from Rusi on a Thamus.
Yeah, meanwhile, here's the blocks was taking a lot of pressure versus the 3 DreamMax players, but now Rusi is doing the proxy once again versus Goo. At least in the top side here, at least in the XP lane, Infinity has a hope with Rusi, but now he can sense the danger because King is coming up, so now he plays back, he gets safe. But once again, this game is getting different from the first one, but even though the 2 turtles for DreamMax, even though the 2 kills for the Dragon Boys, we're seeing the goal lead here is not that big for DreamMax so far. So Infinity, oops.
Oh yeah, Wrath of the Dryad comes out there too. Goo able to take down ZZ as well. A great answer time coming from Fanboy, but it was not enough to save. 3-0 right now for DreamMax, who are having a great early game here against Infinity, which is going to be a great answer for that first game as well. Now setting up for this next turtle. Fanboy takes a little bit of damage on the back end. Zablotch able to find that speedy light wheel against Zeus, but they do answer back immediately. Infinity finally able to get onto this board with the kill of Zeus, but no team really in a good position to be able to pick up this turtle.
Yeah, you see here, Blink is causing a lot of trouble for Infinity with this show. You mean he did an astonishing outplay here when it comes to using the Way of the Dragon, especially versus a ZZ, which has a Harley. But now we're seeing here the tower being taken down by Infinity, but Zeus, okay. Now they swap the role here. They swap like bringing Zeus in the top side. Meanwhile, the 3rd turtle is absolutely going to DreamMax here. No fighting back from Infinity so far, and now they are playing aggressive. DreamMax is playing forward here, trying to like gain this info, delaying this heading back from the base for DreamMax. But Goo, okay, let's go.
Yeah, you can see them going ahead and trying to get some of that pressure there. Wrath of the Dryad at the bottom as Shy Kite gets taken out by ZZ. That's a huge amount of damage taken off the board for DreamMax. They do end up resetting on the map. You saw that Rage of the Phoenix come out as well for the stun on the DreamMax, but they were not able to capitalize on it. One thing that is interesting to me, a little bit of a fight at the bottom. Ooh, and Zablotch might be in trouble here. King trying to lay on the damage is not going to be able to close the distance. He doesn't care if there's 3 members there. He's gonna burst right through them to find that kill onto the enemy marksman. But what I was gonna say is that what I've noticed is ZZ, I wanna say there's been at least 2 or 3 deadly magics that he's put onto Blink, which is the roam. That's literally the opposite of the target that you want, the opposite of who you want to be around. Lionel taking a lot of damage, gonna have to use that flicker, and still King able to close the distance. The Mystic Gush from the back, and Shaikiche able to burst down the rest of Infinity.
Yeah, no working well here for Infinity, especially when it comes to ZZ trying to damage once again here with the ultimate, but it wasn't enough. And now DreamMax is coming out from the first tower on the mid lane. No first tower on the top side and the bottom side as well for Infinity. So DreamMax now with the goal lead getting bigger at this time, almost with a 5k, but now they non-stop ZZ.
Oh man, imagine getting chased down with King Leomord on that horse, able to chase down ZZ for another kill. Just some great answers of being able to chase down that Harley. Now almost down to all high ground towers for the side of Infinity. You can see at the bottom, Zablot's gonna do a good job, but not with his team trying to get that little push in. Mystic Gush is out as well, and Rusi in trouble. Zeus with the big damage coming out from that Clint, able to find a kill of his own. They are going to go ahead and take down those tier 2 towers, but at the bottom lane, you can see Zabloch doing a good job of being able to get that split push in. Infinity, there's nobody there that's going to be able to answer it just yet. You finally see Goo having to come in on that Uranus.
Zablox is going to be surprised. The 3 players of DreamMax are hiding in the gold lane here, but the cavalry maybe arrived. Let's go, Private.
Oh, Zabloch able, another flicker, and is able to get the outplay. 3 members onto Zabloch, but able to grab and snatch one person in the form of Shaikiche to take her down with him.
I can die, but I'm bringing one with me so far. That is a Black Samoto here with a carry. He took the 2 towers. He took down 2 towers in the bottom lane here for Infinity. The advantage for DreamMax is going to be very, very bigger so far, very stronger when it comes now with the Lord heading on the top side here. We know that maybe DreamMax can have some issues with the closing out situation here. Let's see what if they fix this problem from yesterday to today. Oh, ZZ on Shaikiche on the mid lane.
Oh, gets caught and taken down. ZZ able to find the angle and the flank to take down the biggest damage dealer on DreamMax. The rest of the team trying to chase. Goo on the back end is not going to be able to close the distance.
Yeah, so now here Rusi took down the Lord and he was able to head back in the base. Oh, Private once again here. Like, okay, it's not the end of the world for DreamMax. They lost a player, they lost the Lord here, like the opportunity to maybe take down the high ground for Infinity. But they have to like watch out carefully about that kind of situation. They have to walk with so much careful in this jungle, especially with the squishy ones, Shaikiche and Zeus, for example, because okay, Infinity might be so much behind on the goal lead and or advantage, for example, but they are not dead yet.
Yeah, they do have the patience. They understand even when they're behind what exactly they need to be doing to be successful for this. I'm not sure, like I know we were talking about how much DreamMax can usually kind of flubber things at the end. That is just a great positioning by ZZ to be able to get to that back line to where you think you're safe on that gourd to be able to kind of get to close the distance on your team. But ZZ just finds this great angle on the backside. And I think that's just, I mean, that's just the value you get out of a Harley pick there to be able to kind of get to those side lanes there. But yeah, it does bring up the question, have they kind of been able to work on that late game, keep the things very strict? Oh, they're gonna go ahead and latch on to Blink and do not finish the job. Blink still sitting there at about 50% health for this team. About a 5k gold lead for the side of a DreamMax. 4 seconds left on the Lord.
These guards are getting heavier from Harley. Did you see? Oh, the top side.
Yeah, Rusi has activated that Cauterin Inferno, taking a lot of damage and gets taken down by Zeus, who was just blasting away at him. And a great job there by Blink, who was being just that wall in front of the Cauterin Inferno, making sure that Zeus had all the time he needed on the Clint to really just blast away at him.
Yeah, 20 seconds now to Rusi head back in the game. DreamMax is starting the Lord. Apparently no fighting back coming out from Infinity here. So the second one guaranteed by DreamMax after a very, very clever pick off on Rusi in the top side. So now let's see if DreamMax doesn't make the same mistake again with like ZZ coming out from a flank or in the back line here to surprise once again Shaikiche, or Zeus with the Clint. But now, I think that they learned their lesson because they're all together and they're waiting for the Lord in the mid lane.
Yeah, you can see a bit. Oh man, you can see a little bit of a split coming out from the side of DreamMax. ZZ waited long enough. Oh, he was actually going to go back. Keeps trying to figure out if he wants this decision. I think he knows that the Lord is coming in there, and he's going to have to come in with the defense. He was looking for another flank, possibly coming for his team. Now, all lanes coming in. Blink does find a little bit of a pop up there. Fanboy on the backside gets pushed out by King. Damage coming out. Goo takes a spoonful of damage from Infinity, and down goes the Lord. That's going to be one high ground tower at the mid lane. That is down. Goo edging his way to the inside. King coming in from the backside to Lionel. Took a lot of damage. In comes King with the Phantom State Mystic Gush out there as ZZ gets taken down. Rusi is able to find a kill onto Blink and maybe bit off a little bit more than they could chew on the back end, but DreamMax takes one death and is going to be backing up from this engagement. Oh, just kidding. They're still looking for this bottom tower. Goo in the middle there. Another Phantom Steed. Does that thing even have a cooldown? King comes in again as the rest of the team make mincemeat out of that bottom tower. Rusi, immortality has been procced. The rest of the team not in a position to help him as Shaikiche with the Mystic Gut sprays him down.
Winter Crown now coming out from Goo once again. One player down for Infinity. That was Rusi. And now DreamMax is still causing the pressure. It's still like pushing the waves. Once again, the Phantom team here coming out from King. The focus now is the tower number 3 on the top side. Unstoppable.
Yeah, Zeus is just blasting away, making like short work of a lot of the squishies here. Now you can see the damage starting to land on to this core. Fanboy uses the Wrath of Dryad. It does not connect, and he might not be long as Zeus finds the finishing touches. Now trying to put those auto attacks onto the base, and DreamMax. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a series.
Looks like the closing game situation has been fixed by DreamMax, and now everything is tied up here, Zena.
Yes, a dominating show right there for sure. DreamMax was popping off in the beginning, right? 6 kills, no deaths by the 9-minute mark by the Jungle King. He's showing them what he's all about. He is meant to be in that jungle role. And they claimed all the objectives, I think, as well, and basically did what Infinity did the previous game, so it flip-flopped this time around. So it was really cool to see. This one, like you said, these teams have gone back and forth a lot, and they've always reached like best of 3, the full thing, best of 5, the full thing, so I think that's what's going to happen here today.
Yeah, and I want to say this kind of answered a question I was very nervous about, is do these players have the skill level to compete with Infinity, especially with the jungle, with the mixed up roster that they're coming in with? And for me, the only question here when it comes to competition, both of these guys seem like they're on a very even kilt here. The question comes down to the drafting. Because I feel like that first draft just really did not favor DreamMax. And here, the second draft, they got a much better answer, able to lock down the Cho as well to be able to answer the Harley, and then just a great amount of damage they were able to dish out, not just by Shaikiche, but by Zeus, who did a great job there as well.
Yeah, so when it comes to King choosing Leomar here in the jungle, so DreamMax was supposed to bring a strong sides here, especially when with Goo and Zeus, you know. So Goo was like, okay, he didn't compromise with Uranus. He was like too strong with a very high sustainability. For example, we saw Clean on the gold lane here, like getting bullying sometimes Zablox with the carry, especially when it comes to this high damage caused by a Clint here. So Shaikichi once again with a Goo good position. Okay, she was surprised like maybe once or twice by ZZ with the Harley, but after that, like DreamMax realized that okay, we have to play together. We have to take care about like these flanks, these the back lines here, these possible back lines, you know. And even though like Affinity was trying to compensate something with the macro, you know, with using their size to push the minion waves, for example, and not to get so not to take so much pressure, but it wasn't enough for stopping DreamMax's composition, especially when it comes to this damage situation coming out from Zeus, coming out from Shai Kichi, for example, and in the ultimate, everything was fine for DreamMax so far.
Alright, here we go. From the first move to that final push, this player stayed one step ahead. Our MVP was King. King the Jungle. King of the Jungle, right? 617 KDA, 62.4k total damage, 775 golds per minute. He did an amazing job to give the team that offense, right? And
well,
had them all on the defense.
And well, not just that, but he's also able to kind of close it. He was another reason that Harley had a hard time being able to come in, because as soon as that Phantom Steed came on, King was able to chase down Harley. We saw a lot of times where he absolutely like gunned him down, like was chasing him throughout across half the map, and Harley didn't have a teleport strong enough to be able to create the distance he needed there. Here you see the Mystic Gush kind of coming out as well to really help, as King was able to kind of lay waste to a lot of the team from coming in from Infinity here. I'm actually very, very surprised when it comes to